Telecoms are shifting from satellite to IP as spectrum constraints mount, with Appear citing a 200% density gain from IP workflows. To examine the implications, we speak with Stefan Stadler of Appear. So, Stefan, how was the shift from satellite to IP transforming live production and broadcast distribution workflows across the industry?
So the broadcast industry is in the middle of a fundamental infrastructure shift. Satellites, they served us for decades, but IP now gives the broadcaster something that satellites could never do. It's flexibility. They can spin up feeds, they can reroute signals, they can add distribution points without touching anything of the infrastructure. And what we're seeing is that broadcast is not looking only at replacing those satellites. They're really rethinking their entire distribution and contribution architecture. And the result is leaner, more responsive workflows, and they can adapt to the moment.
But as REMI production continues to scale within live sports broadcasting, what is required to maintain quality, synchronization, and operational consistency at scale?
Remote productions, they have moved from being cost-saving experiment the last kind of decade to now being the default operating model for live sports. The real challenge, though, at scale isn't the technology, it's actually consistency. Make every event, whether that is kind of your top tier flagship match or a regional smaller event, to get to the same quality and reliability. And this means solving for synchronization, solving for low latency or operational repeatability across those distributed teams. And the organizations that get this right and actually work with a standardized REMI kind of workflow shouldn't rebuild this from event to event.
And is there any specific reason why the hybrid approach combining on-premise with cloud-based workflows has become the preferred operating model for broadcasters today?
So hybrid isn't really a compromise. It's actually the smartest architecture for live production right now. On-premises hardware is something that gives you deterministic, kind of frame-accurate performance that live production really needs. While cloud, on the other hand, it really gives you elasticity to scale for major events or reach audiences. The key insight is that these two, they don't need to be in tension. You know, broadcasters are really crack kind of the combination of on-prem and cloud. They're really the ones that will win.
Now that we are on that topic, what is driving the industry's shift towards a unified platform approach spanning satellite, IP, edge, core, and cloud environments?
You know, for too long, live production meant stitching together a patchwork of kind of different solutions together. You know, you have that one vendor that does satellite, there's another vendor for IP contribution, and then there's another one that does a cloud playout. And the problem with that model is that the complexity actually compounds the different vendors. So more integrations, you have more failure points, and you need more specialist knowledge. And I think a single platform approach changes these economics and the operational reality. And I think when all of these satellite, IP, edge processing, production, all is managed through a unified platform based on standards, then that's really how you can move without introducing any sort of risks.
And there's also a lot to address at this point. So as the industry moves into 2026, what are broadcasters and media organizations prioritizing the most in terms of flexibility, reliability, and operational efficiency?
So we just come off from NME, the big broadcast show in Las Vegas, and the conversations we have with our customers, they really come down to three things. You know, it's all about reducing complexity, is protecting the reliability and kind of the their premium content. And at the same time, they want to preserve flexibility for what comes next, what is at the horizon of their production. And I also have to say the cost pressure is real, but it's just not just about kind of cutting costs. It's about how you spend smarter and not locking in your infrastructure that can't evolve in the next couple of years.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Stefan. Hope you can join us again soon.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Stefan Stadler, Chief Product Officer at Appear. For more news, visit apv-news.com.